Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the latest LP from socio-political rock duo, The Evens.
Put your swag in a bag. Political rap. 99% hybrids. Don't hate cause the hate egg crate. Organic. Sweet and sour. Fight the power. Hybrids. 99%.
Man, what do you even say to that? I mean, he's right. He's right about everything. Gotta reassess my life. I don't know. This sucks. The Evens are drummer and singer Amy Farina and singer, baritone guitar player Ian MacKaye. And between bands like Teen Idols, Minor Threat, Lois, The Warmers, and Fugazi, both of them have plenty of DC underground rock experience under their belts. However, with just an incredible amount of consistency, The Evens is really becoming one of the most notable moments in both of their careers. And the project is yet to falter even on its third full-length LP, The Odds. The Evens have pretty much been shaping themselves to be one of those bands that fine-tunes their sound with each release, not really one of those groups that kind of shoots for rapid progression with every LP. And I wouldn't really say an incredible amount of change is all that necessary for the Evens, because their sound is relatively stripped down, simple, straightforward, and gimmick-free as it is. Sure, the band's use of baritone guitar does make them stick out, but I wouldn't really say it's as much a selling point as the band's message and songwriting, just the intimacy of their recordings, which has always kind of been the focus from one album to another. Typically on an Evens album, there is very little in the way of extra instrumentation or effects. Pretty much it is vocal harmonies, drums, and baritone guitar. And that baritone guitar, if you're not really familiar with the instrument, is kind of like a regular guitar, but it plays a lower register of notes, kind of like a chubby guitar. And when it is strummed furiously by Ian MacKaye on a number of these tunes, the sound is actually quite farty. But the thing is, it works with the toned down direction of this band, even when they are just playing furiously on any track on any album. The sound remains very kind of low and round. I would just be calling this music folk if it weren't for the fact that this baritone guitar was electric and plugged in. This thing is just some weird middle ground with rock and folk and kind of post-hardcore that only a guy like Ian MacKaye could function within in a way that actually produces great music. Now, it's been a while since the Evens have put out another full-length LP, especially considering that the very first two albums from this project were just within 1 year of each other. And even though we are getting this album now, the Evens certainly do not sound like a band that has taken 6 years to put this record together, because Farina and MacKaye very naturally begin from where they left off. The only real negative right off the bat with this LP is that there are some moments where the Evens do kind of feel like they are treading water musically. Some riffs do kind of sound way too similar to older Evens riffs for comfort. In my opinion, this LP does not start off as strong as it possibly could have, with tracks like King of Kings and I Do Myself. Not bad songs, but like I just mentioned, a little too similar to other Evens songs I've already heard for me to really kind of get excited about them, despite the fact that I do like the lyrics. However, it's not long before the Evens actually start presenting some songs that do take some risks for them and come off as distinct in song and subject. Like the song Wanted Criminals, which kind of has this mess of horns that pops up occasionally in the background, or at least it feels like horns. It's kind of a new texture for them. But it's the song subject and just the writing and the energy behind the vocals that really ends up gripping me. It kind of feels like it's about everybody becoming a deputy, but after that, nobody really to arrest. It kind of seems to me like some commentary on snitching and just the prison system. It's kind of a weird satirical fantasy with a really huge climax toward the end. The Evens kind of push themselves out of their comfort zone a little bit more with the track Wonder Why, which is an instrumental jam. Not really my favorite track on the LP, but certainly a nice try, with no instrument really kind of playing lead on this track, with the baritone guitar kind of being mashed away at from one section to another in this song. It doesn't really enthrall me all that much, but the drum solo that Amy Farina plays toward the last part of the track is really quite awesome. And on the track competing with the Till, the Evens actually kind of try to branch out a little bit instrumentally by bringing in these schmaltzy, kind of crappy sounding keyboards that kind of are trying to replicate a piano, and what sounds like a little bit of horn in there too. It's very kitschy, but kind of for a purpose. The critique on this track gets personal, making fun of venues that really put money over music, and the outlets don't even work, which sucks. Tracks like Broken Finger and Warble Factor actually bring in guitar riffs that are very, very Fugazi-esque. However, they don't really make me miss Fugazi or anything like that. They actually sound quite thrilling in this more toned down manner. And on the latter of those two tracks, Amy Farina's vocals are just really fiery and attention-grabbing. I mean, she is just such a passionate vocalist on this LP, and it's just got me running through these tracks again and again and again, because she does come off with a lot of conviction on most of these tracks. Now, the last third of this LP is actually where things get really great. I love an album that ends strong. The track This Other Thing, the Evens kind of take a risk with this quirky, funny, little intersecting guitar lead that sounds pretty kooky, but is actually one of the more interesting transitions on the entire LP. And the song Let's Get Well is really the best ballad the Evens have put together. I actually fell in love with the line about shaping our shapers or shape despite them, but either way we end up on the cutting board. This LP is freaking solid. Just another great offering from the Evens. I'm feeling a light to decent 8 on this thing. What do you think about it? If you've given it a listen, did you love it? Did you hate it? Why? What should I review next? Anthony Fantano, The Evens, Ian MacKaye, Amy Farina, The Odds, forever.